Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I don't want to say tonight's episode, but maybe it is tonight, depending on what part of the world you are in. I am ZodWriter, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny Alpha, who is going by the name Happy Jack today. What's up, Happy Jack?
Oh, I'm doing good. And yeah, it's got to be 5:30 somewhere. So yeah, party
Wait,
down.
what's the time where you are?
It's noon.
Oh.
Yeah, it's noon here. Johnny and I are in the same time zone. And guess what? We've got a great person here on the panel with us tonight. One of my favorite people in the whole world, singer-songwriter Georgina Revell. Welcome back.
Oh my God, this is so nice. You were one of like the first people that ever contacted me. I remember when you first asked to like interview me, and I was like, me? It was like the nicest thing ever. I was like, yeah, I want to do it again and again and again and again.
I couldn't wait to get you on the ZodWriter Show because you're so talented and you have so much. Just like you're like the most awesome person, and you were so kind to me too. I was like gushing all over it, thinking, "Oh my God, she's going to be super. Georgina's going to be super, super famous." And I just want to make sure that I get to interview her before she goes on MTV. So that was my big thought process at the time, and you didn't disappoint. You've made so much great music. I mean, my God, you're bigger than Adele now. How were the VMAs? How were the VMAs this year? Were they on Zoom because of COVID? I don't know.
You know the real irony of you being like, oh, I wanted to like interview you before you were on MTV is I work for Viacom, which owns MTV, and I actually work with all of that stuff. So I get to go and see all the cool music stuff. I just don't do it as much myself.
But so can you talk a little bit about what you've been doing since you were doing music?
When did we last talk?
My God, how many years has it been? What, 20? What was it? Was the last time 2015, 2016, something like that? 2014, maybe, as far back?
Yeah, I feel like it might be 2014, maybe.
Because I think the last show I had you on, you were co-hosting with me when we interviewed Joe Darko.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Okay, so in that time, I moved to the other side of the country to study and film music videos for people. And then I was studying media, obviously, television and radio. And then I came back because I got a job at Viacom. And I've kind of worked there since. But I do music on the side to earn extra money. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've been doing. Isn't it like I make it sound really boring? But in that time, I've lived in loads of different places and I've traveled different countries. I actually got to do some really cool music in America during that time when I was at uni. That was so sick. This guy paid for me to go all the way to New York to record in the studio that Fat Joe recorded some of his albums, which was actually really cool.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was really
cool. That was when you went. Wait a minute. That was when you went and did your trip to New York.
Yeah, well, I went.
I'm talking to you like I'm writing the Georgina Revell biography. I'm like, well, back when you did your trip to New York. Who knows? Maybe we could do something like that at some point. I would love to write your biography.
Not that interesting. You'd have to make it up.
Well, we could dramatize some elements, I'm sure, but it's funny because Rel McMillan here says your cover of Effing Problems is amazing. Fire.
Oh, thank you so much. That song actually changed like everything for me. It's like mad the amount of stuff I've got to do since that, which was so weird because I remember recording it. I think I said to you when I was recording it, I asked my friend his opinion on it because I hadn't really I love hip hop. And I loved hip hop, but no one ever put me in the hip hop category, obviously. White singer, English, like English people do grime, not hip hop. So it was just, yeah. And I remember showing it to him and he went, yeah, it's cool, but like, I don't know, I don't think anyone's going to like it. So let's do like a parody video. So that video is like semi-parody. And then actually people liked it and no one realized, which was good.
Yeah, but you always said it was your chance to go gangster. And I took it like that too. I'm like, yep, seriously.
Yeah.
But it does. But I can see where you're going when you say it has the parody elements. especially the way you just kind of like went off at the end, like you were just really like.
You should have seen all the outtakes. It was like me pretending to like dunk a basketball, but I'm on a chair, and like all this stuff. It was where my dad used to work, and it's like an old youth club that's like. So I just snuck in late at night and recorded it all. So I was like, I have this youth club that's got like a basketball court and like all this baseball stuff and like a fridge, and I was just like opening up the fridge, being like, "What up?"
Well,
Like,
that song and that video was extremely gangster, and I would say it's ahead of its time. I mean, like, you look at all the SoundCloud stuff that's coming out, and it's all very similar to what you were doing then, except you can actually sing like a mofo, and a lot of the kids on SoundCloud can't.
I'm completely out of the loop with SoundCloud, to be honest. Like, I don't know what's going on. What's happening on SoundCloud? What have I missed?
Oh, well, basically, it's a lot of just, kids that were told that they can't do certain types of music doing it and having a good time. And it really reminds me of what you accomplished with your version of that song, which I think is the best version of the song. But yeah, I was just like, damn, she was about 5 years too early.
I mean, still, like I say, that song completely changed my life. So, like, I even now, I wouldn't ever go, oh, I wish I did it later. Like, no, definitely not.
Well, you trailblazing. Yeah, you lit the torch. Is what happened.
Exactly. You lit the torch. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you tell a story at one point that song was actually supposed to appear in a movie?
Someone asked if they could have it, I think. And I was like, well, it's like people were like, oh, I bet you earned loads of money from that. I was like, I'm not going to ask for money on a track that I didn't write. I don't know. But I'd rather,
because it was a cover that just happened to outdo the original song. I mean,
that's why it did. I was just like, I don't want to earn money off something I didn't write because it doesn't. I would like, why would I? Because then I'm putting myself in a box as well of like just doing covers. Like, do you know what I mean?
I can respect that. I can. That makes a lot of sense.
Just do it for free and then build up. And then if I did something that was really cool that I'd written, earn money off.
Yeah, but you have done your own music, right? You've done a lot of stuff. I mean, I've played tons of it over the years on my ZodWriter show. You've had so many good songs. You've done so many collaborations with other people, and that's all been original music. So you didn't box yourself in with any covers that you did. Your covers only showed that you were capable of outdoing the original artist, which is something that
Well,
I'm going to walk out of here and I'm going to be like the biggest diva. I'm currently in the status of like moving. If you don't know from any of the song lyrics, like I live in Brighton. I've moved back to Brighton during the pandemic with my family, and I'm moving to London like in a few weeks. And like I'm going to walk downstairs and I'm going to be like, Mum, Dad, get me a drink. I'd like a gin and tonic. Like, you know who I am. You're just giving me such a big head.
Yeah, but it's well deserved. What are you drinking, by the way? Is that water or is that a drink of some sort? Okay, great. Okay.
You know what? I haven't drunk in a while, but I thought actually this is kind of an occasion.
Yes,
I feel like we're like having a school reunion almost. Like it's like, what have you been doing? Do you know what I mean? It's been so long.
Yeah, it genuinely has been entirely too long. I mean, that's why I say I like once we stopped doing PSN radio, over a year ago, everything changed because there's so much that we're missing. Like, you can't it's not the same doing it on YouTube because you don't have the ability to just play music and stuff. That was one of the things I always liked about doing the show on internet radio. You could play music, you could do things that were just really cool. And I kind of got the chance to, cosplay as a DJ sort of. So it was one of those fun things, because you were like, and I was always playing your music That's the other thing. I would always play your stuff, and I was always like, anytime you would send me a track, I'd be like, okay, cool. I can play. I had more Georgina music I could play next week or whatever. And YouTube is kind of having moved the platform over to YouTube. It's kind of changed a lot of that.
All the music copyright and everything, of course.
Right, you get killed with everything except I can play your videos. I can play your videos, and I actually did, as you know. Well, you were aware of this. I had put string together a bunch of your music videos and put it on my Plex Media server for people to be able to watch.
God. I actually don't think I knew this.
So I did
contribute to like getting me
right. I want people to be able to watch your videos and stuff. And I linked in the description below to your YouTube channel so that people can go to it again and see what they've been missing out on all these years, because you've got some videos on your channel that are like 10 years old, but I don't care. They're still fresh and new as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
it's actually like mad when I look back at like what I was doing, like thinking of how, I was a baby when I started doing that. I think I told you how I got into it, but like it was the first ever video I did. I was at college, and I'm somebody that's very extroverted, but like very shy about I am extroverted when I'm being an idiot, very shy when it's like coming to like doing something good. Do you know what I mean? Or cool. And my friend said, I really, really want someone to do a really cool cover of Sia, Titanium. And I was like, I can sing, I'll do it, to my friend. And he was like, no, you can't. And I said, okay. And I filmed myself singing on webcam this song. And his dad happened to do voiceover. So he like borrowed his dad's microphone and gave it to me to record the first ever cover. And then he let me he filmed it in his house and set up my YouTube. I never changed my password. So if he wanted to hack me, he very easily could, because he set up the password. And it's very insulting to me. The password is an insult to me. And like from there, he just like that. It's just mad to think that if he hadn't have like forced me into it, I would have never done any of that ever.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad he forced you into it.
Yeah.
Your voice is incredible. So, did you train with it, or is it just kind of natural? You just kind of pulled that out?
I don't know if you guys know the UK very well, but there's a stereotype of Welsh people. I'm a quarter Welsh. For anyone that doesn't know what Wales is, it's like a very tiny little place that's like next to England, where they do have a different language. I don't speak it, but it's very farmery, not very wealthy. And I'm a quarter that, and they apparently sing really well. That's what this is what my mum always says. She's like, it's because you're Welsh. It's because you're Welsh. That's where like a lot of famous singers come from there, because their voices are very like, it's a very Welsh thing to have like this quite melodic tone when they talk. I can't. I could try and. I only know how to say one thing in a Welsh accent, and it's not appropriate.
Yeah. That's like me with Spanish. I know how to get my ass kicked in Spanish, but that's about it. But I mean, like, oh man, you can belt those notes out. I mean, it's incredible. When like we were listening to your tunes the other night, and when I look at some of the people that got famous, I'm just like, man, there is no fairness in the universe. But it's neat that you're able to go into the corporate side of it. Is that fun? Like being over on the other side of the industry?
You know what? It really is, and I think like one of my biggest things is I like finding new people and new people that I think are talented. And I like talent comes in loads of, I get like, I mean, for me, I work for the kids side. So I get to like work with really nice, sweet people. Do you know what I mean? Working with like, the kids side is Nickelodeon, and I get to like help find talent for Nickelodeon, like for their YouTube stuff. I mean, it's just like, I love it because people are so talented, and I get to meet all these like really like creative, amazing people up and coming. And I can, like, having done music and, like, met managers and people, and, like, I don't know if you know, but, like, I was scouted 3 times for X Factor. Every time I rejected it, but they were also not very nice. And The Voice I was scouted for, and some weird...
Why do they reject you? What's the reason? Do they give you a reason?
The first one, they fast-tracked me. So I didn't do like the giant auditions that everyone does. That's all a cover. You go, they have like a separate one for people that they directly find online. But the first time I went straight to Sony headquarters, and this guy was like, I think that you're amazing. I think you're going to be the next blah, blah, blah. Please do this audition. And I said, okay, I'll do it. This was the first ever one. I was like, I'll do it. But I wasn't, my heart wasn't in it. And I went there and I sung, I'm reading the comments. It wasn't Simon Cowell. I didn't do it in front of Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell's just a cover. He just comes in at the end. They have like TV producers and music producers there. And I was talking to them about my hip hop stuff. And I said, I kind of want to like explore a bit more of that. So I did a hip hop cover and they said, can you just do Adele? You sound like Adele. And that really wound me up for some reason. So I just went, no. Yeah. I just went no and walked out.
Good for you. Yeah, screw them.
Well, yeah, I could see that. I mean, you've got to be tired of being compared to Adele when you have your own identity and your own voice. And
well, like there's already an Adele. Why would I would
right.
And also I'm like nowhere near Adele. Like I don't know like if people know this, but she went to the Brit School. Like Brit School is basically a training camp for superstars. Like she has been training since she was a teenager for this. She knows how to write songs, she knows how to sing, and she's just been doing it for years. Like I wouldn't ever compare myself to her because she's just fucking fantastic and she's just in a league of her own, and that's great. But why would I want to be the second one?
Yeah, but you're not. But you're not the second one because the moment people get a chance to check out your original material and your style of music and what you want to do, they would know that you're completely different from Adele. So was it that they just wanted to hear you sing Adele in that audition, or was that something that they were hoping you would eventually be like another Adele?
They wanted me to do Adele at the on TV.
On TV.
Yeah, which I didn't want to do because originally, like, bear in mind, like when I went to the Sony thing, the guy at the Sony place, who I still chat to every now and then, we're still friends, but he was really into my hip hop stuff, and he was like, "I think you should do the hip hop stuff. I think you're going to be this," and that was what sold it for me because I wasn't going to.
Grits in the morning.
Grits in the morning. It wasn't grits in the morning. Did I tell you when I went to New York, I met up with him? It was the most surreal thing. We got really, really drunk and ate Cuban food, and it was incredible. I just had him and his wife. We had a great time.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, it was so weird to meet him in face to face after all these years of like making music together.
It's funny because before you told your story, I was going to say you probably didn't make it on those shows because you're too real. And then your story just proved what I was going to say right. Because, you wouldn't be the fake thing they asked you to be. That's gangster. That's awesome.
That literally has you living up to your effing
your gangster roots.
A gangster root.
Real, you know what I mean?
That's right. You're totally real. You don't have time for fakeness. You're not trying to be Adele. You're not trying to be anybody else but yourself. And that's amazing. That's exactly how you should be. That's what makes you cool.
Thank you. I'm very cool, if you couldn't tell.
That's right. You're very cool. and your parents should totally understand that you're very cool. So after the show, when you go downstairs, you just tell them, I'm very cool.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm very cool. And they'll be like, yeah, okay, go sit down.
Have Jeeves bring the car around. We're going to the mall.
Jeeves being my dad, he's going to be so angry.
Oh. So Integrity 101 wants to know, hi, what original song should I check out?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, so I write music now, but for different people. But an original song you can check out from me, which is one I did in New York, actually with a guy called Nash, who is the guy that took me over there, is called, hold on, I need to check this is how long it's been. Do you know when I made this? It was 2014 or 15. Hold on, let me find it. I think it's called, I know how it goes. I'm singing it in my head.
Is it on your YouTube channel?
No, it's on my, he might have done, what he kept doing was he kept uploading like little sneak peeks of songs that we did together and then deleting them. And I was like, can you stop? Because he's such a perfectionist. There are some songs that he never finished. It's called Grounded. We did a song called Grounded, and he produced it, and he wrote a lot of it. And there's another one called One Crown, which I really wish he would actually finish.
I love that song so much. You sent me that song, and I have to tell you, I used it in a thing that I was doing, and a thing that I was doing as I was a video game wrestler for a time, and I used One Crown as my entrance theme music.
I really love that because, like, he wrote One Crown because I'm English. And he was like, the Queen.
Beautiful.
And then I said to him, he was like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, I'm really angry about Brexit. This is when Brexit was happening. I was like, really angry about Brexit. The pound's dropping. So if you listen to the lyrics, you can kind of hear him like including bits of things I'd said in the lyrics, being like, I think it was like, nobody wants me around. Everybody here drops my name like the pound.
Drops my name like the pound. Yes, yes. And you mentioned Game of Thrones too.
Yeah.
This Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about.
That was the line.
He did a sneak peek of that song with the trailer of Game of Thrones, and people were so pissed because he wrote like sneak peek of Game of Thrones. What he meant was sneak peek of my thing, but people were like, this is a sneak peek of Game of Thrones. It's you like clickbaiting me, and then he kept deleting it, and I was like, I just want to hear the song, man.
So where? Okay, so this isn't on YouTube, but you said where can this music be found? Because I want to link it.
You can listen to Grounded on SoundCloud. There are more songs on my SoundCloud that aren't on my YouTube. There's like a mixture. So some of the things that are on my YouTube aren't on my SoundCloud, and some of the things on my SoundCloud aren't on my YouTube. And that was normally where like SoundCloud was where I was like, I don't know if I like this. So I just shove it there. Or it wasn't mine. So like Nash did Grounded, and I was like, well, with me, and I was like,
whatever happened to Party Crazy? Did you ever get to make a music video for that song?
I don't talk to Paddy anymore, so I no. And he's in Ireland. I don't like Ireland's so far. Very expensive as well.
Yeah, that would have been difficult for it to happen. I remember at the time when we all talked, you had said that you guys were saying that there were plans in place for you guys to eventually make a music video, but they fell through for obvious reasons. But I
mean, I think of like those guys. I'm probably the only one still actually doing music.
That's the other thing I was going to say. I think the last I heard of like Mystery, he became a boxer or a cage fightor or MMA fighter or something.
I hate to stereotype the Irish, but it was bound to happen, really.
He's out there busting heads on the cobbles, is he? That's good.
Yeah, I literally, because he was talented, but I never felt like he was really. I didn't feel like him or any of those other ones like Coors were as committed to it as you were. You were 100% more committed to it, and your music seemed at that point like it was your life, so it was the whole point.
It's actually so someone told me this when I was at uni, and it was actually about my uni work, but I have repeated this so many times recently, and it's like this guy said to me, I'm going to try not to swear, so hold on. He said to me, no one cares about your stuff as much as you do. And it's so true. Like, if you want something to happen, no one else is going to make it happen for you as much as you want someone else to help you out. Like, if you want to do it, you've got to keep... That's the only way that I've managed to do anything I've done now. Even after fucking problems, like, that was because I kept afterwards contacting people that had contacted me at the time years later, and they helped me get other jobs. Do you know what I mean? If I hadn't have kept chasing and whatever, nothing would have happened.
Yeah, well, you definitely have proven that you've got it, and you've got all the talent in the world, and you're an amazing musician. And I don't know, Georgina. I'm sitting here thinking maybe we should play a couple of your videos that I've strung together for people, and we can get your live reactions to some of your classic stuff. Because how long has it been since you've looked at your old music?
Really long time, because it's so cringe.
Oh
no,
no.
that's not cringe.
It really is.
Oh boy. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll pull something up here, and let's take a look here.
Oh god.
It's probably glitching. Well.
Oh my god. Firstly, can we talk about the eyebrows? Like, why do they look like sperms?
The eyebrows.
Yeah.
Are the eyebrows a problem? Because I don't think so. I think you look awesome.
No.
Was it you that decided on your look for the video, or was it with friends, or what did you, what was the process?
I have one friend that, like, he's my best friend, not the same guy that set up my YouTube, and he filmed. I persuaded him to film all my videos. God bless him. Other than the first guy, he filmed pretty much all my videos, and like I would ruin his house. I would like take out his furniture. I think for Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, I took his living room chair out into like a wood, like. You know what I mean? He was such a trooper, and he would film all my videos, and then I'd do the rest. I'd tell him what I wanted, but because I completely like. I don't know. I rinsed him for all of his generosity. I was like, I will do the rest.
And Integrity 101 says, it's okay. I never once heard eyebrows on a song before.
Thank God for that. If you can hear my eyebrows.
we can't hear your eyebrows, but really, I thought your look was appropriate for this video. And it's just, I've just grown more and more fond of it over time. I don't know.
The irony was I literally just I did makeup modeling around this time, which is not a flex. It's like for people that were learning to do makeup, they would do it on my face. And I had my eyebrows tattooed, so I couldn't actually do anything to my eyebrows. So my eyebrows were tattooed on. Like
oh my god! Oh my goodness! Now that I didn't know. That's pretty amazing.
Like 3 days before that video, so like they look a bit oily because I had to put like stuff to stop the tattoo like going horrible.
Yeah, love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, got a fucking problem. Love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, got a fucking problem. Love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, got a fucking problem. If finding somebody green is your fucking problem.
One thing I notice, or I've noticed about this video, is it just looks like you're having so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, I'm in a giant empty hall that has basketball hoops and like football things. I mean, it is actually like no, I don't think anyone here is from England. If you are, say hello. But it's a youth club, so it is like just a tiny like brick room with like painted on, football goals and basketball hoops. But it is basically where like I grew up messing around. Like I actually in the other room, my name is painted on the wall. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, and it was me and my friend late at night just messing around doing what we thought was going to be a parody video at the time. So like, like I say, we were doing like the whole basketball hoop thing where I was like pretending that I was going to shoot a basketball hoop. We were just messing around.
The basketball hoop thing would have been cool to have in like the director's cut of the video.
Director's cut. The thing is I posted it and then I did that thing of like, I'm not sure about this, so I posted it and I just went off and I wouldn't look. And then the next morning, people were saying really nice things, and I'm like, it worked out. I'm glad I didn't put in the basketball hoop clip.
Oh wow! You were glad you didn't put that in there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, ruined the whole thing. Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I can avoid the glitching because I wasn't sure what was happening, but. What's the deal with is that a necklace or is that part of the shirt?
necklace.
Yeah,
And I still own that necklace. I still own that shirt. I just got rid of the shorts. I'm a bit of a hoarder, but I filmed this like almost 9 years ago. And I've only just got rid of some of the bits of the clothing.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So there's no chance of you doing another version of this song, huh?
I don't think anyone wants it, to be honest. But I would do another song. I still talk to people in America about like doing collabs that we were meant to do when I was 19. I'm finally getting around to doing them, so hopefully one of those will come through.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Pop like it's in the on nine. Ooh, baby, like a raw with it, shimmy, aye. Hey, bitch, get it like me. Never met a motherfucker fresh like me. Hold on, and I might just be the girl that you fall for. Bitches of me, cause I'm a singer. Makes the boys lips quiver. Jaws raw when I'm here, they think I can't deliver. Baby, I can show you things that you never heard of. Boy, let me teach you. Don't tell anyone, though, I'm not the kind of girl that gets it all on the show. Just a woman's got needs and boy, we both know that you got it. So you know. I'll be just love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. I love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. I love bad boys, my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. If finding somebody real is your fucking problem, and your boys to the crib, baby, make us love. You know I love it when this beat is on. Make you think about all the females you've been leading on. Make me think about all the men that I've been feeding on. Got a feeling that's the same shit that we speaking on. No word, you know my album where you sleeping on. You should bring the lyrics out and have a fucking read along. Ain't
Wow.
sing along, and she rather read alone and just okay, then just drop down and get your ego on. I heard you told me, now it's time to lay it on. We've been talking too much shit, boy, this chat is on. Time to change the tempo up, baby, why don't you bring it on? You've been waiting all night, trying to get me alone. I've been waiting for the word, so you'll take me home, yes, Lord. I don't really say this often, but enough shit talking, show me some action. Now I beast, love that boy's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. I love that boy's my fucking problem.
What I found so interesting about this is this is something you just did as a fun thing with your friends. I mean, the production quality here is incredible. I mean, like,
Are you serious?
yeah, dude. I'm not even kidding. Like, this sounds better than 90% or probably 100% of the pop songs I'm forced to listen to when I'm hanging out with my lady friends and stuff. And I'm like,
That was recorded on that microphone right there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Not in this room, but that mic.
it's incredible because I mean, it just sounds so good. And I don't know, I think it's because your excitement and your just passion for the project or what, but I mean, it pops, man. This song is just incredible.
Yeah, like I've never I think that was what it was. I'd seen that video and right away I had to try to find a way to contact you. I felt like a stalker. I was like, how can I get her on the ZodWriter show? Let's see who I got to look up. Who do I got to get in contact with? And you just so happened to be on Facebook, so that made it easy. And
it's all under my name, so it's not hard to find.
Right. Exactly. But you know, if you're a lot of people record music under a different name, so it's yeah.
Well, and most people who got stuff that sound that good, usually you got to go through an agent or something to try to book them. You know, I mean,
pretty much.
Oh God. But the thing is, who would want to have, like, as a celebrity music artist name, Georgina Revell? It's not the most attractive name. I'm just not very.
But your name, you do honestly though. Your name does sound. You do sound like a star. Your name does have a star quality to it. It really does. Georgina Revell. That's really cool. Like I could see in my head right now about 6 or 7 different album covers, and you really. I mean, I don't see how. You know, your name would be a detractor to you being successful. I don't think so at all.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I don't think so. I think that the name, well, it's because I think we had this conversation before. I was like, you can pronounce it 2 ways in my family, but I only ever pronounce it Revell. So it's either Revell or Revell, and only the boys say Revell in my family, and all the girls say Rebel. It's just
Yeah, well,
That's funny. The dude
I
says it's a
started
posh
off-
way,
I
and the
started
girls
saying
don't.
I started saying when I first met you, I always said it Revell, but when you said, when you said Revel and you made it clear that you
I
say
sung it
Revel,
in fucking Problems. I told you
I
that's
always say
Georgina Revell.
you hear it. You don't hear Revel in that song. So yeah, it's a good point.
Exactly.
I mean, and the Bat Channel says that the chorus is catchy. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
It's really weird actually because I rewrote. Did I tell you what I was doing as a job when I was just before I filmed this? I was working in media. I was working for a TV channel, and I was like, it was my first ever job in media, having studied it at school, which is where I met the guy who set up my YouTube channel, and I was working with this. I was working for what we call in England a lads mag. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like a booby mag. It's a booby mag, but I wasn't doing that. I was like working. They didn't know who their target audience was. It was women's self-defense, but they were half naked, and it was for men. So I don't really understand what this channel was, but I was working on it, and I actually rewrote the lyrics every day when I was going up and back and forth on the train, because it would take me like an hour and a half each way. And so I just spent the whole time rewriting these lyrics of fucking Problems for like 3 weeks until I found something I liked. And then that happened.
So semi-erotic self-defense classes. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it was street fighting, so it was like using the things around you to fight people. And they used to teach me things. I don't remember any of them, but me as I think I started when I was 18. Like me as an 18-year-old, I was just like, they taught us how to use knives, which are illegal in England, just as an FYI. They taught us how to use knives. They taught us how to like survive in the wilderness. It was the weirdest experience of my life. But
surviving in the wilderness half naked.
Half naked. Well, at that point, it was like 5 girls and then 30 men that were like all like muscle-bound men. It was a very confusing time of my life. But when it ended, I made that because the channel ended, obviously, because they realized they don't have a clientele. And then, and then I made that.
It would probably be popular today for some reason, though, with the way so many things have changed.
I bet in the pandemic it would have done really well. It was just such a confusing mess of like, what are you? But I think like when I made that video, it was the first time I had like free time in like the longest time. So I was actually probably just really enjoying hanging out with my mate, like just getting to actually see him for more than, an evening on a weekend for a few drinks. It was like we spent a whole day together making a video and like hanging out, and yeah.
Sounds like the entire experience was nothing but positivity, and that's beautiful. Yeah. You can't put a price on that at all, ever. And the Bat Channel wants to know, what kind of mics and music editing recording software do you use, Georgina?
For this, I used, would you believe, GarageBand to record on it. The mic was the cheapest mic I could get, which was the SEX1 bundle. Irony that I worked for a booby mag at the time, but I used that money to buy my first ever mic. And yeah, that was it. I just used GarageBand and a SEX1 mic and a Logitech, which I still currently have. That's how I made it.
Who doesn't have a Logitech?
Exactly. But if you want to start out, SEX1 is a good one because it just has everything. Like you don't have to think about what you need; it's just there, and that's what all of that is.
And then Integrity 101 says, G Rev in the house. Does that work? I'm not hip. I have no idea. G Rev.
It does. That's actually, I call myself that. My nickname is G, if you can believe. Is every time that someone asks me, I say it's because I'm a unit. Obviously, but
that's awesome.
But yeah, G-Rep, it does work. You are hip.
And Neo7 says, I would love to hear you do a cover of Bonnie Raitt's I Can't Make You Love Me. I feel your voice would definitely fit.
Oh my god, that's a massive compliment.
Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero. That would be awesome.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Wow, that would be dope.
Wow. I remember the first time I ever had to do big singing, and I was so nervous. It was at school, and they just found out I could sing because I was like, I was that kid that was really, like I say, extroverted until I had to do something where I would get complimented. And I was doing music, so I wanted to study music, and I was like singing into a microphone going really quietly because I didn't want them to hear. And then my teacher came over and went, you've got a very soulful voice. And then he wrote me into like this huge end of year thing, and I was the finale with a whole orchestra and like a choir, and I've never shit myself as much as I had.
Do you remember what you sang?
Yeah, Give Me Some Lovin' by Blues Brothers.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like he was like, I've wanted to do this for years, but I've never had anyone that could do it with all of the band because they weren't loud enough. I was like, I'm loud. I can do loud.
And Kupi Malik says the big city could also be considered a wilderness if you think about it.
Exactly. It was street fighting that we'd practice in the wilderness with. Do you know what the SAS is? Do you have SAS? I don't know.
Yeah, we got I think they call them the Rangers over here, basically the Army Rangers.
Yeah, the ones that like their job is to survive in any climate. It was an SAS guy teaching us how to survive, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't need this, but it was very exciting.
And the Bad Channel says, I would believe that. I used GarageBand a lot when I first started composing. I have since moved on to to Logic Pro X, thinking about trying out Cubase.
I don't know what kind of music you're doing. Depends what kind of music you're doing, but I have a friend that's obsessed with, what's it called? Tractor or something? Like, that's one for people that like dance music and actually know what they're doing, which I don't. I'm not very technically able, so I use Logic Pro now, but
that's great. The Bad Channel says it's impressive what you can do with a simple app like GarageBand.
You know what? If you're creative, you can use anything to make something good. I'm not saying that it would be like the final project, but good enough demo, you know?
One thing I always appreciated about you is that you never followed up your voice without auto-tune. You always used your natural voice for a good majority of your songs.
Do you think I would know how to do any of that?
People like, no, but like I've noticed in like some collaborations and some songs people have edited outside of you actually editing it, that they've done things to your voice, like sped it up or slowed it down or did additions to it.
The thing is that like the people that I would ask to do, I used to ask people to like help me collaborate. Actually, there were very few that didn't. So there was a guy called Yours who he remixed a bunch of my songs. In fact, I don't know if you've heard it, but he did one with like a German rapper, which is so cool. Have you heard it? It's Sweater Weather, and that's how I found him, because he just like remixed the song. He didn't ask me, and I was like, dude, you should have asked. I would have like happily sent you over the stuff. You didn't have to do it that way. Like I would have sent you everything. And he did like a bunch of remixes of my stuff, and then he actually has uploaded one since to Spotify, which was I did the J. Cole Power Trip, but I did that with mixture of Drake and stuff, like a whatever, and he uploaded it to Spotify. It's just like the dance bit of like got you up all night, all I'm singing is, and he's like remixed it, and it's really cool. But like he did one track with me, which I think was the Charts of Rapper one, and I recorded after he sent me all the instrumentals, so he didn't change anything, and that was the only one that producers just love making everything perfect, and I'm just not good at that. I'm too impatient.
Integrity 101 says, I wasn't going to say anything, but since Zod mentioned it, I can't stand auto-tune.
Mm.
Yeah,
the robot voice is just...
That's why I mentioned it, yeah.
It was neat like once or twice, but like now when you hear it, it's just overdone, and especially when you have somebody that can sing like Georgina, it's just a waste, in my opinion.
I think the thing is, some voices suit it. If you like, I still do music now, and like when people sometimes put auto tune on it, it sounds really bad. Whereas like sometimes when I mess up in real life, it doesn't sound as bad, and I think it's because that I don't know what I do. It's like I fluctuate my voice as I'm singing everything, so it goes. It just sounds stupid. It sounds really bad if you put auto tune on. So.
And Kupi Malik says, I hope Miss Revell never synthesizes her voice in any segments of her songs.
Thank you.
There was a song that you did a long time ago that I used to play on the ZodWriter show
Dance for Love,
almost religiously. And see, you know me so well, you knew exactly what song I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Dance for Love.
That was your favorite, but I never did anything with that. I didn't hear it for years, and then
I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was beautiful. I played it all the time. I played it as soon as you told me. I started playing it as soon as you told me that you guys weren't doing anything with it. I was like, okay, well then I'm gonna play it because it's not going anywhere.
Nothing happened to it.
You said it was like what? Like, didn't you tell me it was something along the lines of like 60% done or something like that? It never got.
Said in the title of the song I sent you 40% because it was 40%.
Oh wow.
It was like 40% Dance for Love, and I don't know where that's gone. I don't think I have that anymore.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'll have to go look on my because I had a hard drive crash and I ended up losing a lot of stuff, and unfortunately a lot of the stuff I lost was a lot of the music that you did. So I'm gonna have to go back and look through some of the old ZodWriter shows because I kind of want to hear.
I can't even remember the name of the producer that sent it to me. I would have no idea where to start. Long ago.
But the reason I bring up Dance for Love is because although it is one of my favorite songs of yours that you had sent me, next to what was the other one? I used to call it Kingdom, but you call it something else. What's it called? The one about the pound?
Oh, Queen. One Crown.
One Crown, and I call it Kingdom, but you call it One Crown.
Because it starts with Kingdom. That's why you call it that.
I always called it Kingdom. Yeah, I always just called it Kingdom. But the reason I like Dance for Love, in spite of the fact that they do kind of put a little bit of auto tune on your voice in Dance for Love, and usually auto tune, you have such a natural voice, I couldn't imagine, diluting it with auto tune. But that song, it worked.
I think for that one, he also did it because I have a really bad habit of I sing when I have a cold. And that was one where I was really sick. I was really sick when I recorded that. And I think he was just like, you know what, maybe it's a bit too much. Auto-tune, like a hideous amount of auto-tune on it. But I do have a lot of songs where I'm sick singing, to be fair.
That's terrible. That's terrible that you were sick. But it just goes to show how great of a musician you are because all the songs sound great. So Integrity 101 says, are there any live songs available?
No, but there is like a random video of me singing Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, but it's not the whole thing. It's just the end of it.
I wonder if I have. I think I have that on the videos that I streamed together.
I would have sent. Oh my god, maybe. I worked in a bar and they would constantly ask me to sing at the bar, and I was too nervous because I'd worked at this bar for years and they were all my friends. I was like, oh god, it's so cringe. And one year they just finally persuaded me around Valentine's Day to do it, and I was like, I'm not singing love songs though, and they were like, nope, fine. And they had to put me on at the end of the night because my songs had swears in them. And I sung Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. I sung a mashup of Kanye West songs. And that charts the rapper one. I did something else. What else did I sing? I sung basically all the songs I sung had swears in them, except for Royals. I sung Royals because I was like, that's a good one to ease into the swearing.
Ease into the swearing. Well, again, you were ahead of your time, and a lot of the most popular songs today have a lot of swearing in them. So if you were to come out now and put out, have you ever considered putting out like an album of all the stuff that you've done? Has there ever been any talks of that? Or
someone asked me to do that, but normally the people that ask to do that are the ones that are like music and media people. You can meet some of the nicest ones, and you can meet the dodgiest ones. And I just seem to attract the dodgy ones, so I'm like, I am better off not going down that rabbit hole. I'd rather everyone just like, if they want to, they can just download them off YouTube. I'm happy with that.
I think that if you had a little push, I mean, you could have a resurgence. At the time, it wasn't really a thing to have a more poppy type singer do hip hop type songs and be gangster as hell. Whereas nowadays it's kind of open. It's kind of a free thing. You got the whole punk rock rap. There's hip hop is really evolved, and I think like if you really gave it a shot, I think you could really take off. It's like people are way more receptive to not just one thing being one thing. You can cross genre a lot more nowadays.
Oh my god, Post Malone is a prime example of that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
He did it so well.
And yeah, just take his ugly ass off the counter and put you there. And yeah, dude, just think of the magic that could happen.
that is an excellent point. That's an excellent point.
It stresses me out that he's younger than me. I'm like, oh my god.
He doesn't look it.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Georgina, you haven't changed at all since these photos that I have.
You look younger
here. You actually look younger than your photos, and that's.
You didn't use any of my new photos. I could have sent them to you. I should have sent them to you, to be fair.
No, but see, there's no need though. There's like literally no difference. You look younger. That's
okay. My plan is to glow up until I die, so at least that's working.
There you go. And Bat Channel has a question here. He says, I may have missed this, so if this is a repeat question, apologies. But what are some of your artist inspirations that have really influenced your style as a songwriter and performer? Great question.
I don't know. I like music. It's really difficult. Like, I studied music business as well, which had like music history in it. And I just like, I learned to appreciate music that I didn't like. They made you write about music you didn't like and learn the history of why it exists. And I did folk music, which my dad loves. My dad loves folk music. I hated it. I thought it was just really weird stories. But like every music genre, this is just a random, like, I will get to your point. Sorry, I will answer your question in a second. But every music genre actually like started a liberation, like a political movement. And I just think that's so interesting. It's not so much today, which is kind of, but like hip hop is one of the few that still kind of does, like in some instances. I mean, say what you want about WAP, but did it not start a conversation about women's sexuality, which had been going on for years, but like, do you know what I mean? It's just one of those, it's like, it starts a political movement and conversations going. And music's one of those things that is so easily spread. That's actually why folk music started back in the day. It was a way to tell stories that people could remember, to pass on, like nursery rhymes. That's what nursery rhymes were. Nursery rhymes were horrible, horrible stories said in a really cutesy way to get a message across to loads of people. And I think that's really beautiful. But to answer your question, not really. My favorite musician, my favorite artist / like human being is Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. But that's because like I really like all of his media stuff. I like his music stuff. I like that he started out on YouTube. I like that he studied script writing and then used it to write clever lyrics. I like that he then got bored of doing hip hop. He felt the pressure of it too much, so he just went into a completely different genre and didn't give a shit. I just really love that. And yeah, so my favorite artist is Childish Gambino because I just think he's a really cool human being, and I also like media and music. So
excellent, and I think you were absolutely right about WAP, by the way.
Yeah, love that track.
Right.
I mean, come on. If nothing else, the beat on that track is absolutely infectious. It's incredible. Yeah. Integrity 101 says, I see a lot of musicians moving towards putting out EPs.
Yeah, it's like, so the reason why like musicians put out EPs more is because it means you can test out. But if you put out an album, which you shouldn't do if you're a new musician anyway. But it means you can test out a lot of things. You don't have to be like, an album should have a theme. It has like a story and a style. And if you're not doing that, then it shouldn't, they're all separate songs. They're not cohesive. Therefore, do an EP, is what I've been told.
Have you ever thought of doing an EP with like 3 or 4 of your original tracks?
Not for me personally, not under my name, no, because I guess the thing is, maybe if I like down the line, if I worked with more hip hop people, but it kind of, a lot of the people that I used to work with, including Dean Martin, who I thought was just an incredible rapper, who did Grits in the Morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they grew up, they had kids. I mean, in America, wow, you guys get married young, have kids, bloody hell. I thought that it happened, that happened like a lot in England, but I was chatting to someone and they were like, oh my God, I need to be married now. And I was like, wait, how old are you? And they were like, 25. My heart, I was like, what? 25, you need to get married? What? But, I haven't even learned how to do my taxes. Why are you talking about marriage?
Straight up.
Yeah, and it was just like, but like he was older anyway. He had a wife. He had a daughter at the time, and then he since had 2 kids. And he was like, I messaged him recently. Like, there was so much music he didn't release that he sent to me. In fact, we did a song together that he never released. He didn't even put out on his own SoundCloud, which I really liked. And he just went, I need to focus on a family, which is amazing. And he's got the most beautiful family. But I was like, you are so talented. And I'm just so devastated you didn't put any of this on Spotify. You could be earning money from this right now because you were so good. But his stuff exists on SoundCloud if anyone wants to listen. It's very good.
Yes. Grits in the Morning.
Grits in the Morning, and our other one, Neighborhood. My Neighborhood.
Yes. And what was the other one you did with? Didn't you do with with KK side that I used for another show that I had done years ago called Cyber Love Talk, which was about sex and relationships, and you
oh my God, I can't even remember that.
You produced a version of that song with K-Sai as the theme song for that show. And I just remember the lyrics being, you were like, I love the way you put it down. That one? Remember that?
Oh my God, I don't know. Do you have it?
I'll try to see if I can find it, because I don't have very many episodes of that show because, again, hard drive loss, and you know how that goes. But I will try to see if I can find it, because that was that song.
I don't actually remember the whole thing, but now that you've said it, it's like
it was a short, and we used and I remember asking you if you could edit it down to like under 2 minutes, just so it could be like a quick like intro song, and we just used it at the beginning of that. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. I feel like you've been my like personal musician for the ZodWriter show for years. I mean, my opening theme for the ZodWriter show. Yes.
It's still on my SoundCloud.
No Way Out, which I mean, it's synonymous with the ZodWriter show. I think I used it for like, my God, the entire time I did this ZodWriter show on PSN Radio. I don't use any music or any introductions on YouTube because I want to avoid copyrights and anything and everything. So I just go straight into the talking parts. But the reality is, though, back then, that music was just like, you were so, such a huge part of it. You were there the entire time, even if I couldn't have you on every week. It was just always nice to be able to play your music on every show. And I will always be grateful for that.
And I'll always be grateful that you actually cared enough to do that. Like, honestly, it made me feel like I was at school studying, and I'd be like, just as an FYI, my music plays on a podcast in America. So... Do you know what I mean? Over here, that's such a flex. People are like, oh my God, America, what? You're basically a celebrity.
I played your music so much that it was just almost like I always felt good about it, because I always knew that there was never going to be any problems with like copyright or anything. I'd be like, I'm going to a commercial break, but we're gonna play Party Crazy from Georgina Revell, and then we'd cue it up.
You know what? They're not gonna listen to this, but I actually got into beef with the guy that not Mystery, the other guy, because
course.
I was, so basically he went, I'm not going to do anything with it except for put it on SoundCloud. I was like, cool. And then he was earning money off it on Amazon for years and never told me.
Off of Party Crazy?
Yeah.
Because he put out a couple albums that were on Spotify. I don't know if he still makes music or still does anything, but I remember that. I don't remember if he used Party Crazy, but I know there was.
He did, like, you could buy the song, and I messaged him saying, can you take it down? Firstly, I actually don't like it anymore, and you should have asked my permission.
Oh
Secondly,
my God. I used to have that. I used to play that song all the time.
I wouldn't mind, but it irritated me that he was like earning money off it and didn't tell me or mystery. It was like a bit cheeky because
sue his ass.
I was like, we were doing it out of the, and also he was just not a very nice person. Sorry, Cole.
No, he wasn't. He was real arrogant and rude. I'm going to be honest with you. Back when I interviewed him, I remember you were supposed to co-host with me on that one when I interviewed him, and you had something happen where you weren't able to be there, and he was.
I just didn't want to talk to him.
He was so rude and so ignorant. Like, he was to the point where, like, he's like, well, because we were waiting, because I guess at one point we were waiting for you to come on, and I didn't want to start the show without you. And he was mad. He was like, well, are we waiting on Georgina, or are we just going to do the show? Because if Georgina doesn't come, are we doing it or not? And I'm like, okay. And then when I did the show, I just kind of, muddled through it, just kind of went through it, and we did his music and stuff. But I didn't really enjoy it because I kind of felt like he had sort of like this like angry mentality. Like he was
a very angry boy. I remember that to him. The thing is with me as well is I try and avoid arguments, but equally if I have to have one, I am very to the point. I'm not like I emotions off the table. I'm like, here's the fact. Can you just? And he's just not. He wasn't very good at it, and he would get really weird and try and avoid me for so long. And I was like, I wouldn't mind, but you've got my name on the track. If you took my name off the track and you took out my choruses, I wouldn't care. You can do what you like with that. But you were trying to earn money off me and Mystery, and I don't think that's cool. So.
Right. I mean, he could have cut you in on that, though. That's what I don't understand.
Because there are two people that have my, like, if you type in Georgina Revell on Spotify, there are two songs with my name on them, and they're both me. And both people have asked me if they can do that, and I didn't ask for money. I don't care, but just tell me. Do you know what I mean? Just tell me. Then I'm like, yeah.
So Kors just didn't realize that if he would have simply asked you and been polite about it, you would have said yes. You see, that's what I'm talking about.
I said, when did you put that on Amazon? He was like, oh, that's been on Amazon for ages. And I was like, you've been charging, it was something like £1.20 for the song. And I'm like, you've been charging £1.20 for people to buy that song. I would have handed it out for free. It's not a good song.
And I always thought that he got your permission because it was like, yeah, because you were right. It was on there legit for sale. So yeah. I always thought, oh my God. So maybe, I thought you were getting a cut of the profits. I thought maybe we should promote this, but knowing that.
I only did the collab because of Mystery, because I really liked Mystery and he asked me. And that was the only reason. Otherwise I wouldn't have done it because I didn't know who he was. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a question. Oh, wait. We have a question here from Batdan 530. He says, I'm curious, do you play any instruments?
Yeah. Not as well now, but this is actually, hold on, my COVID lateral flow tests. Hold on. This is actually a piano. I play piano not as well as I used to. And a bit of bass. I would like after watching School of Rock as a kid, I just really wanted to learn the bass, and so I've got a bass that I play pretty poorly to be fair, but I still play it. I wish I could play guitar. That's what I
pretty easy. I'm pretty sure you could pick it up really fast. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's a fun
how long
instrument.
have you played guitar?
Shit, since
Since you're a
'92.
kid.
So
You're a
yeah.
kid. Yeah, kids can learn stuff like that. Adults, no. They're too like bothered about, oh, did I leave the oven on? Oh, I should probably get on with dinner. There are 50 million other things I've got to do. And your brain just doesn't focus like it would as a kid. As a kid, you're like a sponge.
Agreed. Yes, as you're a kid, you can basically suck up information very easily.
If I hadn't started learning piano and keyboard as a kid, I'd be so bad now.
Yeah. Rel McMillan asks, Zod, you used to have a sex talk show, or did I hear that wrong?
Boy, did he. Man.
I did, and it ran for a little while. It was quite fun. It was me and on average, 4 female co-hosts, and I was the man in the middle. It was quite unique. And Georgina was a part of that. She had put together the theme song with her collaborator.
I don't think that we originally put that song together for your thing. It just
no. Afterwards, you'd already put the song out, but
that well, so I can't remember if that was how it works.
No, you didn't create the song for the show, but you guys had created a shorter version of the song just for that show, and I was forever grateful because it was awesome. Because before that, we were using the song "Cyber Sex" by Lords of Acid, and that song was not a song that I wanted to continue using as a theme for obvious reasons, because I thought we would eventually get hit with some kind of a copyright or some kind of a thing that we didn't legally own the rights to the song. So it was not one of those things that we could continue to use. But when you guys did that song, and it was, the way you put it down, oh my God, it was fantastic. It just fit the tone perfectly, and your voice was just so sexy and beautiful, and it just like meshed in great.
It's really weird. In general life, I am like the least sexy person. I'm so weird. Anyone starts thinking that I'm like attractive, I deliberately do something weird, and I don't know why. It's like an impulse. But whenever I sing, people are like, oh, your voice is so sultry, and that's like the only time where like it sticks. Otherwise, people are like.
And I'm only skipping down to this, Rick McMillan, because we are on the topic. You say, Zod, you have to upload those old talk shows. I can't, because I unfortunately lost the entire archive for Cyber Love Talk during a hard drive crash. I do not have those episodes anymore. I may have, if I'm lucky, I may have 1 or 2 out in the wild somewhere, because I sent them to people via Google, but I really don't have that show. So unfortunately, that show is kind of lost to the annals of time at this point. It's just one of those things. I wish I still had it though, because we had some really great episodes. It was really some fun stuff.
What kind of weird stuff do you do to people when they think you're hot? Just wondering, because I'm kind of interested now.
Oh my God.
My favorite one's this one. I do there's an English The Office. I know the Americans redid it, and they redid that scene, but they didn't do it as well as Ricky Gervais did. And I do the Ricky Gervais dance. And there was like a period of time where I was like impulsively doing it every 5 seconds, to the point where people actually had to intervene to an intervention for me at work, being like, Georgina, you really need to stop that. I'm worried that you have because it's like a tick at this point. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize I did it that often.
Somebody actually referred to it as a tick.
Yeah, they were like, I think because I just did it so often, just randomly. They were like, and that's when I had to consciously stop doing that. That's
wow. Integrity 101 says new song by G-Rev with guest Mike Patton. Let's see that collaboration happen.
Who's Mike Patton? Sorry if I.
He sings for the band Faith No More. He does a lot of.
I know Faith. Yeah. I know Faith No More.
He's got a very interesting voice. He's got a really wide range, like you do. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, I do. I know Faith No More. Why do I know Faith No More? Guitar Hero, probably.
Probably, yeah. I think Epic. I think the song Epic's on there, so yeah, that is probably how you know him.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Wow. Rel McMillan says, Zod, how hard is it to do interviews with someone when when someone like that rubs you the wrong way before the show even starts? Yeah, it is difficult. It's difficult to do it. I was praying that day that Georgina would be able to come, because I was like, man, this is gonna be tough, because this guy was angry.
I have a habit of really finding it easy to get out of things I don't want to do, and I just didn't like calls. I'm sure I had something going on, but I was also like, this is a very convenient excuse not to have to talk to him.
Well, you know what? After having done that interview, Georgina, I can completely understand. So I'm just like, if I were.
Well, I think I only spoke to him once, and I was like, that was enough.
You and I, but see, and this is one of the things that I will always be grateful to you for. You've never, anytime I've ever asked you to come on the ZodWriter show or to do anything related to it, you've never said no to me, ever. We've always been able to work something out where we could work it around our schedules.
Thank you so much for doing it this time. I would say yes to 11 p.m., but my bedtime's 10, and it's a school night. So.
Well, I had no problem. I was free, and it was like, it's the daytime. That's something new, because I usually don't do it during the day, but it's great. It's like I was telling Johnny, I'm like, we're on UK time right now, so we'll just do it on UK time, and it'll work out just as well, because at least then we can go live and we don't have to pre-record, because I don't know about you, but I prefer the live experience, because it allows us to interact with the chat. It allows us to really kind of.
I've never actually done anything where I've answered questions live, so this is.
Yeah, because almost every episode that we ever did together on PSN, it was always pre-recorded. We would record it on a Saturday, or we'd record it on a Sunday, and then we would air it on the following Tuesday.
Yeah,
and that's how we would do it. But I mean, this is a lot of fun. I'm so happy to be here with you live like this. This is great. So
I also like the old ones. If anyone can ever listen to them, I think they still exist on SoundCloud. But there was one.
They're on Spotify now. They're on Spotify.
I used to when you had these countdown things where you play the theme tune, and I'd be chatting to you, and I'd be laughing, and you can just hear it at the end, and I go, oh, because you'd been like, Georgina, sharp, leading up to that, and I wouldn't stop talking.
They're really good. Yeah, they're really good. They're old and great, and they have all of your music, and they are on Spotify. I think every show that I've ever done with you is on there. I think I have all the episodes except maybe the first one. I don't know if I still have the first show that I ever did with you, because it might have.
That was the first interview I ever did.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
My God, I feel so special. I was the first person to interview you. I feel so special. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Honestly, America cared about me more than England did, for sure. The amount of American interviews I got after your one was crazy. I had so many random podcast things where they'd ask to talk to me, and I'd just be like, why though? I mean, I appreciate it, but why?
Yeah, well, I was just like, you're gonna. Because I saw your effing problems video, and I knew you were gonna be a superstar. So I was like, my God, I mean, how can anybody not love Georgina? And I was just right then and there, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna make it my mission in life to get her on the ZodWriter show, and it's incredible. And you and I have remained friends for all these years, and we still chat from time to time, and it's like I've always said, I'm like, if I'm gonna ever do anything, especially when Johnny and I were talking about it on one of the live streams we did, when I was watching some of your videos on that stream, I was like, I've got to talk to Georgina and see if I could get her to come on for an interview. It's just been too long.
When you message me, I think I don't really use Facebook either anymore. Just as an FYI, if anyone's trying to message me through there, I don't use it. If you see me online on Facebook, it is entirely for work. Long story, but I don't use Facebook. And then when you message me, I was like, oh my God, blast for the past. I think I messaged you back the same day, which would be very rare.
Yeah.
Anyone that messaged me on Facebook, expect me not to reply for 3 weeks. But I saw your thing pop up, and I was like, oh my God. Like I haven't spoken to you in so long.
I felt so special that you messaged me because I know you don't use Facebook. I don't use Facebook a lot either. I don't even use Facebook to promote anything anymore. So I knew like that was one of the things that it would be like, you know, Facebook, it's hard to get, you know, replies from people, you know, because social media in that realm has kind of fallen off a lot over the last several years. So
I mean, Facebook's one of those. Most people I know use it just to keep in contact with their family, post family,
yeah,
post political views, and that's about it. Like other than that, no one uses Facebook, as far as I know.
So, what do you primarily use to communicate? What's your Instagram?
Instagram, but I use my Instagram for like so. My job is social media, so I use my Instagram generally to like I do. As you know from all of this, I'm a bit of a jokester, a bit of a comedian, and I use it to promote like that I work for like a television channel. So I get a lot of jobs from it, but also that I'm silly and approachable to get work. So I use it mostly for work, and like that's about it. But people message my friends message me on it, and I post my friends and me being stupid all the time.
Wow.
Awesome.
And Integrity 101 says, wow, Zod, you got like 30 new subs since last night. You've had about a 30% increase in subs in a week. That's cool. Yeah, again, I don't know where it's coming from. I know that when I started posting the newer
Zod,
it's
shows, inevitable. It was inevitable. Yeah, it was inevitable for your channel to grow.
How long have you had the YouTube channel then?
I've had the YouTube channel for a while, but I've only been a content creator on YouTube for about a year so far. I haven't really because I've always done all my content creating for PSN. It's always been the internet radio, and then when we stopped doing PSN radio, I just decided to move the ZodWriter show over to YouTube. So I plan to upload all those old episodes to YouTube. So I think I'm gonna upload the last one that I had you on, where we interviewed Joe Darko. I think that's the next one I'm gonna put up. I have it as like a classic series that I put on YouTube.
Joe Darko, what a sweetie. He was studying animation while I was studying media.
Yes.
We spoke about media stuff, little nerdy kids talking about movies and TV shows we liked. That's what we did.
Yeah,
that's what we still do. So
is he now? Is he? Have you been in communication with Joe? Is he still doing animation? Or
I still have him on Facebook, and that's the whole point of Facebook, isn't it? Really, you can stalk old friends and see if they're doing better than you, and he is doing very well, and I'm very happy for him.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm pretty sure he's still doing animation.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought had seen some posts because I'm still friends with him on Facebook as well. I thought I'd seen some posts where he was still doing animation stuff. Not really, but it's sad that he kind of got out of music as well, because he was pretty good too. So that was.
I feel like a lot of people feel like there's a timeline on it, and then like when you get a proper job, you have to stop. But luckily for me, I like everyone in media if anyone here works in media, you probably know that everyone that does a creative job in media does music as well. So at no point did I ever feel like I had to stop. So I'm quite lucky like that.
And Rel McMillan says, I played the piano from the age of 10 to 15, and I lost all of my talent after I stopped playing.
Okay, right. Yeah. So I have lost a lot of mine, but if you then start practicing like you used to, it kind of is like riding a bike. Like you have like muscle memory for certain things. So as long as you like try and do stuff that you used to do, you'll get it back bit by bit. This is someone that hasn't got it back yet. I'm just theorizing and hoping. I'm wishing it into the world. It's what I'm doing. I'm going, if I do this, it will happen. And I'm saying it for you as well. Wish it out.
I draw, and I stopped for a long time, and then I got back into it, and I got better than I used to, but I draw way different than I did when I was younger.
No
like my
way,
style changed, but like, so maybe a lot of talents will go that way.
That could be more like because you've grown as a person. Maybe like the way that you think about things is different, because isn't like drawing your ideas and thoughts onto paper.
Exactly.
So maybe it's your thoughts and the way you think about things has changed, as opposed to your technique or your abilities have changed.
It's a neat way to think about it. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm a deep thinker.
Yeah, you definitely are. And Integrity 101 says, I sing to my wife all the time. She's great at reminding me not to quit my day job.
Hey, you know what I learned in music history? Punk music was made by people that never could sing. In fact, a lot of bands became famous and would joke about their inability to sing, including the Sex Pistols, who notoriously could not sing. So actually, you could quit.
Well, the Sex Pistols, it was about the music, wasn't it? More than the actual
the image and being offensive more than anything else.
But they would deliberately talk about how they couldn't sing. That was the thing. They were like, we can't sing. But it was like a rebellion. Therefore, you don't have to sing to be a singer. You know what I mean? In fact, most people are like do it entirely off image. So what you need to do is get a cool image. And then you can quit your day job.
Yeah, but you got a cool image. Look, you got a cool image. Look at how gangster you are in effing Problems.
You're like punk rock and gangster at the same time, with the jacket and the necklace, and then you got the hip hop stuff going on. Yeah, you were like doing the cross genre thing as like a little badass.
I don't know what was going on with that outfit. That was a mishmash. I'd like to think of myself as a style icon, maybe a style icon that was only in the 2000s that should not have been a style icon. 2000s was notoriously a bad time for style.
Rel McMillan says Georgina was like that pro wrestler who couldn't get out of character in their real lives when she was doing that dance.
It was that's not even a joke. I became Ricky Gervais in the office. It was a problem. I've sorted it now, but like I still remind if there's a dance circle, like a big dance circle in a club, at a festival, at a party, where I will definitely be in it doing that dance, and someone will definitely have to cut me off after a while. It still rears its ugly head just randomly.
Well, you've definitely you sound like you definitely still have a lot of passion and energy for your music and stuff. And I know, like, we stopping the video because I could tell by your face that you were cringing a little bit. And I was kind of like, I don't want you to cringe.
It's really lovely looking back. It's just like, I think it's like looking at baby videos of yourself where you're like, oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. And like, it's different now because obviously having had all of that experience of like, now I get to work in actual studios. I get to work with producers. I never worked with a producer before. Like, I only ever sent stuff to people off into the ether and then it would come back done. But now I get to see it happening and I get to see like orchestras and stuff and I like all these really cool things. And it's like, it's so weird to think that was me. That was like where I started from. It's just so weird.
But that was the video that everybody who
that
got to know you. That's the video that changed everything for you. So it's never going to be exactly cringe because it changed your world. So that's a beautiful thing. I'm just completely, I get blown away whenever I get starstruck whenever I start watching your videos, Georgina, because I say, wow, you just, I mean, after all these years, it just kind of like, it still resonates positively. And, it's just fun. It's just fun to look back on all your classic covers and different songs you did and know that you're in a good place in spite of the music not going in the direction that we all hoped that it would at this point, because I feel like you accomplished a lot as a musician. You're still accomplishing a lot, and the fact of the matter is, if you were to put an album out tomorrow,
doing stuff and I'm still doing cool stuff. It's not necessarily exactly the right direction I want to be going in, but it's doing very well, which means I can go into any direction later.
Okay, so are you gonna so you're basically doing like Kids Bop right now under another name, and you can't tell us.
Yeah,
She's doing drill rap, man. She's gone hardcore.
It's definitely not rap. It's
Folk songs.
Oh god, no! It's like electronic dance music at the moment.
Like how Dance for Love was going for.
No, Dance for Love was pop. Mine is like the music that I do is more like, and it's so ironic because like me being me, early bedtime. I love I'm an early riser, early bedtime. I don't mind clubbing, but I only go clubbing to dance. I don't like going clubbing to like get fucked up and stay out till like 3 a.m. Like ideally, if I could, I'd go home at 1 a.m. latest. And it's very like it's like the nightclubby heavy music, and it's just so opposite of me as a human being. But I mean, it's great. Like people love it. So
okay, well, as long as it's doing well, that's what's important.
exactly.
But I want, I'm like, hey, you could push Adele off the stage, and that's just a fact. And to answer Integrity 101's question, he was asking who the other guest is. That's not a guest. That's Johnny Alpha. He's here every week, right, Johnny?
Well, except for when I had internet problems and Juan Carlos stepped in and helped me out. But yeah, aside from then, yeah, I'm Zod's number one confidante. You know what I mean? Always here for the boy. He's my homie for life.
So there you go. So hopefully that answered your question, Integrity. And Georgina, I guess I was going to try to play some more of your music here just a little bit, but yeah. But the way the video is acting kind of weird, so I don't know if it was glitching on you guys' part when I was playing it, or was it just glitching on my end? I didn't know.
The music was the audio was fine, but the video was jumpy for some reason.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to see if I can try to play a little bit here. Let's see.
Well, put her on the spot, make her sing live for us to sing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sing effing Problems in a cappella right now.
You know what? The amount of time I used to get that if that song played in a nightclub, they would ask me to sing. Like my friends would always go, "Sing your version over the top," and I'd be like, like in the middle of a club, like I just want to have fun, guys.
Rel McMillan is saying the video was lagging, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want the video to be lagging into that, because that's not a proper representation of Georgina's music. But what you can do is you can always go to Georgina's YouTube channel.
High quality. It's always like the bar is up here every time.
Yes. So what you can do, no, you're not wrong, Georgina. So what you can do is you can go to Georgina's YouTube channel, which I have linked in the description below, and you can check out her videos at your leisure, because they're all there. And they're great. They're all there in their glory. I have them all downloaded, and I I've watched them on a big screen in virtual reality. That's how excited I am. I'll put them on virtual reality on a big screen and just like a movie theater. Yeah, and like a movie theater.
Wait, so am I coming at you? How does it work? I'm sorry.
Well, you're not coming at me, but you're just on like a super big theater screen, like an IMAX, like an IMAX screen. It's super cool.
I've never been to an IMAX. Really,
it's like a super, super, super big movie screen, and
they have to be good. I'm a cheapskate. What can I say? They're very expensive.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But I wanted to go, and I wanted to like play some of the music and that kind of thing. But with the lagging, I'm not going to do that, because it just doesn't do justice.
It just freezes on my eyebrows. Very stressful.
Yeah, and that's not what we want to do.
Don't mess with your eyebrows for a fad. Sperm
Unless
eyebrows.
you have a monobrow, then go ahead and pluck them.
You can, make sure you have 2 of them, but you don't need sperm.
Well, I've got very thick eyebrows, so I understand.
My friend told me as an adult, she went, just as an FYI, your eyebrows did look like sperm as a kid, and now I can't unsee it. And it's It did.
Oh man,
Yeah.
good
Wow.
stuff.
And Neo7 says, don't be surprised if all of a sudden one of your songs starts trending on TikTok.
Why are you planning on doing it?
How do you feel about TikTok, Georgina? I can't stand the platform.
That
Are
should
you
be a
joking?
thing.
I'm an expert at it because I work in social media for kids, don't I? I'm an expert.
They should get get all the kids to do the Ricky Gervais dance, listening to Problems, man. Have it the new TikTok, viral TikTok. That'd be so awesome.
The thing is about TikTok, I think that like it depends. If you've just started the platform, the algorithm's all messed up. But once the algorithm's got you, it's like it gets you. The amount of times where it knows me better than I know myself. Sometimes that TikTok algorithm.
Instant promotion.
It is.
Oh, it's true.
I mean, some of my favorite artists before they were on TikTok, just as an FYI, I love Doja Cat. I love Go to Town was a banger. So was Moo before TikTok found her. But she wouldn't have been able to make any of the new music she made if TikTok hadn't boosted her up.
So have you thought of putting any of your songs on TikTok? Or you can't right now because of your corporate position?
I can do. I mean, I'm very lucky. They kind of let me do what I want. I've worked there long enough. I've worked there for 4 years now. That I get away with murder. I'm not gonna lie. If do you follow me on Instagram? Have you ever seen any of my Instagram stories from work? What a mess! Oh Jesus, there's stuff they let me get away with. I get to do a lot of stuff. So like, I mean, the fact that they let me have a side job in music that I get paid for, and like other side jobs, they'd be like, yeah, go for it.
Oh wow,
They wouldn't care. Yeah.
So if you were to at some point decide you wanted to put out an album of original material, you wouldn't have a problem.
Not at all. No, I could do it if I wanted to. Yeah.
Oh.
As long as it doesn't make him look bad. Yeah, as long as she doesn't come out with like some.
As long as I don't spend the whole time going, wow, this company really sucks, or like I did it during working hours. They don't care. They're like, yeah, go for it. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I still would love to see you come out with an album. I would love to see you come out with an album and you know it come out on vinyl, and I would just be so excited. I'd be like, "Whoa, check that out! The big fat album cover." I mean,
oh God, I'd like if that was me. I as soon as like any time I do music and I get to see like a physical copy. I remember the first time I made like covers. And I put it onto a CD. I did it for my granddad. Not the sweary ones, obviously. But I did it for my granddad. And like I printed a cover onto it. So it was like a cover with a picture of my face on it because he wanted to listen to my music, but he didn't know how to use the internet. And he, like, honestly, he was like, "This is the best thing ever." And I remember being like, "This is actually kind of cool." Never had all my stuff in one place. Do you know what I mean? It's really nice.
Wow. I think if they would let you do it, if you really wanted to do it, I think you should. We need a physical copy of some of your greatest hits. Because I know you've got some songs you consider to be your greatest hits.
Oh, some of my greatest hits. Well, the only one that everyone brings up is fucking Problems. Actually, do you guys watch what's it called? Below Deck? Have you ever watched it? Do you know of it? Below Deck.
The Star Trek show?
No, Below Deck is like a reality show where
never heard
loads of people in the UK are obsessed with it now. Since the pandemic, apparently, like the views of it just went crazy. And it's about like these people that work on like, I don't watch it, but like yachts or like something. And it's about their life. And one of the girls years ago, before I even knew what Below Deck was, because it's an American reality show, actually followed me on Instagram because she liked Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. And she reposted it years ago. And now all my friends have got into Below Deck since the pandemic. And they're like, why does this girl follow you on Instagram? And I was like, oh, she liked one of my songs like back when I was 20 or 19.
Neo Sevens makes a great point here. He says, "Hey, Fleetwood Mac got a huge boost in sales because of a TikTok trend, so you never know."
They did. The Ocean Spray. Well,
Not that you're old as Fleetwood Mac, though. That's kind of messed up to compare of a comparison, but still.
Well, but it's a good point just to show
Yeah.
in terms of musically. I mean, if you were to put effing problems on TikTok.
oh God.
What was the other one that she did that I really liked? Let's do one for the douchebags. Let's take
Kanye West.
yeah, like that. That was another great cover. I'm like throw that one on TikTok.
I must have played about I don't know, like 7 of your music videos that week, Georgina, and it wasn't lagging either. We were playing the videos and it was just
I'm cursed.
It was just like, and everybody was trying to figure out who you were, where it was, and then I started posting your your YouTube channel so that people could go and actually check out your music properly. So
it's just so weird. It's weird because every now and then I have something called Time Hop, which is like an app that like shows you what you did years ago on that day. And like every now and then I get a time hop of like music stuff, especially Twitter, because I had like a Twitter and I only got Twitter for music because I wanted to see what people said about my music if they ever wanted to find me on there. And I had all these really lovely people writing stuff because back in the day, Twitter, you could, when you replied, it had them as quotes, whatever they said as a quote, and then you reply underneath. And like, it just had all these people being like, "Oh my God, fucking Problems is the best song ever." And I was like, I forget that I had so many nice people on there. I had like horrible people on there as well, but I had so many nice ones.
Oh, you smashed it with that song. I'm not gonna lie. I actually never heard the original. I only knew your version from the ZodWriter show, and then Rel told me who did the original, and I listened to it, and I'm like, nah, Georgina did it better. Like, I mean, you killed it with that.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, Koopy Malik says she could put her music either just audio or video here on Zod's channel. Instant promotion guaranteed. Kryptonian standard. Yeah, anything that Georgina sends me that she wants me to upload or promote, I will definitely do it. That's not a problem.
I definitely will. So anything that I find and I get, I will send over.
Okay, and I will upload it and promote the hell out of it. You know how I do it, so.
Because you got yourself a fan base here. I mean, at least a building one. I mean, everybody was blown away the second Zod started playing, and everyone's like, "Wait, who is this? What's going on here?" And it was very organic, and it was really neat because it was just such a positive experience. The whole chat kind of just became alive and was really into it. Yeah.
Oh, guys, stop.
Yeah, because it was up to that point, it had been a pretty lackluster, boring stream. And then we just started talking. We had just started talking about you out of the blue, and then all of a sudden, it just lit up because your music is infectious. So,
no, well, I think the thing is like I always liked singing, and I think it was nice that people liked me singing. I liked that people liked it, and it was nice that you liked. The best bit was I think you liked any style that I did, even when I was messing around with some very weird genres. And I very much appreciate all of the.
Well, I'm just a fan of yours because I recognize your talent. So that's why I was able to like all of it, because I was able to see where you were going with each new genre you were trying out. So it definitely makes sense, like being a fan of yours and then also being a friend of yours, and then being able to look at the music and say, well, wow, this is just great. She should do more like this. And that's why I say, like, the one that I call, the song that I like to call Kingdom. I just really, that to me, I still love that song to this day. I still have it. It's beautiful.
I need to find it somewhere because like my hard drive crashed and it just.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it back. I'll send it back to you. I'll send it back to you. I'll send you your own track back because I do have that. That's one of the last tracks that you sent me, and it is literally a track that I still to listen to daily. I think you'd sent it to me in a format that wasn't MP3 at the time. So I had to
AIFF.
so I ended up having to convert it, and then I started using it for other things.
That was recorded in the same booth as Fat Joe, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really great. It's really great.
Recorded in New York.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, walk in there. Yeah.
I'm gonna start, and that would be great, because what I would do is any music that you send me. What I'll do is I'll convert it, to MP4, and just put like your face there on the video, so that I can have it, so that I can play it on like video, so I can play it on the shows.
Different pictures that don't have sperm eyebrows, though.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to do. I just wanted to go for the grayscale black and white look, because that's what I tend to do for a ZodWriter show anyway. So I just felt like that was a natural fit. But I see where you're going.
I have loads of black and white ones I can send you.
Yeah, well, that'll work. I'll definitely do that. And if you want, you just send it to me, and I'll promote it. I'll promote the hell out of it every week. I'll be like, we got a new song from Georgina, and we'll play it and whatever.
I appreciate that. And I think that I will hopefully, I have a friend from America, from New Orleans. He calls it New Orleans. I've known him since I was 18, and he's finally gone, right, we could actually release something, because we kept making little bits of music and then he never did anything with it. So there might be something with him from New Orleans.
Some NOLA hip hop. They call it NOLA. Most of the people I know, NOLA, baby. NOLA.
And because Koopy Malik put such a great suggestion up here, I have pinned his comment as the pinned comment of the show. She could put her music, either just audio or video, here on Zod's channel. Instant promotion, guaranteed Kryptonian standard. That is the comment of the night, because that is what I'm going to do. I love it. Going back and as a throwback to all those classic shows we did together, and constantly playing your music. I would love to get into the habit of doing that again, just because it was so much fun, and it's such a pleasure.
If I give you permission from my side, please have that. I think it's lovely that you still do that, and it's nice that people still listen to that stuff, because it's just sat there.
Right. If it's not doing anything, might as well put it out there and keep promoting it. I
do. I like that you do that, because it just reminds me of like that stuff. Because like I say, I don't get to do as much hip hop anymore, and I love hip hop. I love doing hip hop, and like "Fucking Problems" is the song that I get the most requested from anything ever. Even to the point where like I've had new producers being like, "Did you come up with the melody idea for that?" And I went, "Well, yeah. I mean, it's a remix of a song, but yeah." And they'd be like, "Can you rewrite it, but for a different track, because it was so good? We want you to remake it, but an original." And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I can't do
that. That would be cool, though. That would be kind of like organically transitioning.
But I don't. But then I'd have to delete it, and I don't think I could. Like in my heart.
Yeah. Well, the original that you made would still be there, though, right? You just would.
No, they'd make me delete it. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
No, that's a bit of a tough one, because that's exactly how you got started. That's what put you in.
I don't have
that's your big one. I mean, that's your big one.
People would ask me for the MP3 for that. I hated it. I kept re-recording the vocals and exporting them, and then listening to them and hating them. And then I got to a point where, no, I'm going to go use this one. I don't have the original bits for any of that. That was like all something I exported and then deleted out of hatred of like how I sounded.
No, wow.
And so I don't have any of that. So like if I delete that stuff, which also my hard drive died, that's it gone. It's gone. Goodbye forever. So I can't do it. My heart wouldn't let me.
Yeah. It's crazy, because you've got that music video that is still out there today. People still love it. I still love it. Everybody loves it. Have you ever gotten any requests to perform that song live?
yeah.
Have you ever done it?
That was the only one that no. It's one of those ones where I'm like, you want me to sing it live, but realistically, someone swearing that much in a public venue isn't what you want. So most of the time, it was always the one that I had it most at was at the bar I used to work at in Manchester, England.
I think you sent me a video one time of a song you did from that bar. Yeah, yes.
Which is fine because like that there isn't that much swearing. Although I did say put your dick on a pedestal, and you can hear the boss, like the owner of the bar, being like woo, like really loud. But I was like, realistically, as much as you're like, oh yeah, please sing it, you don't really want me to because it's just me swearing over and over again in a bar. And it's like it was supposed to be a Valentine's Day set, like you know what I mean. At no point did I sing any Valentine's Day songs, and I was like, I think it's drawing the line a little bit because people are trying to have a romantic evening, and I'm like, I'm gonna take your man's, I'm gonna fuck your husband. It's like, look, this is a bit much. There was only so many songs I could do that in.
At the end, all you had to do was say Happy Valentine's Day, and that would have made it all better.
My vibe. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Oh my God! And Koopy Malik says here, and he's putting this in quotes, so I guess he wants me to read it out as though I'm saying it on the channel. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Georgina Revell. Yes, folks, you hear and see her first here on the ZodWriter's channel. Don't forget, tune in on ZodWriter's channel. So we'll have that there, and Georgina can give me, and so I can promote all her music once again, just like the old days. Wow. We'll make it to the point where you're gonna one of these days have to put that album out. You're gonna have to put that album out one of these days. We'll release it as a grassroots project, independent.
Not business savvy. I just make stuff and I send it over. So if you want to compile an album, you can you can help me do that.
All right, I'll do it. I'll be glad to do that. No problem.
Put it on Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many things you could do. I'm down. I'll put it all together. I'll compile it for you. Just let me know what songs you want. Wow. Because it's fun. That's one thing that I always enjoyed. I'm like, your music is like always in the rotation, no matter what. It's like we'll play whatever. This week we'll play your. I actually had somebody who would complain to me like, how many times are you going to play Georgina's version of Payphone? No! And I'm like, listen, it's Georgina. I'm going to play it no matter what, you know.
As they should. They're like, are you gonna play anyone else? Or like, fuck it out. She hasn't got that many songs.
well, like your version of Payphone did get a lot of play on the ZodWriter show. I would just play it, in between.
There was a point of time where, like, when I first started doing it, I was like, I just try and get followers, and so I just picked popular songs that I didn't really care for that much. But the problem was with me was that I never really listened to them, so I didn't know how they sounded, which made them really unique. I'd listen to them like twice and be like, yeah, okay, I've got it. Or like if I really struggled, I'd re-listen while I was recording. But like half of them I never listened to. The Rihanna one I did, never listened to it. Where Have You Been? That one, never listened to it. I never heard it before I did a cover of it.
That was probably the best way to approach it, though, because if you think about it, if you've never heard the original song, then you're not tainted by trying to sound like the original artist, and you're just doing your own thing.
Yeah. Also, probably a bit lazy. I don't know. A bit lazy.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, Effing Problems is a song that you knew, and you just took your.
No, the one that I really loved and I was scared about doing was the last one that I posted on YouTube, which was Redbone, because, like I say, huge Childish Gambino fan, like to the point where I saw Childish Gambino live, and I still talk about it to this day. After that, I was like, I would not shut up about him for like weeks, like going, "Oh my god, it was the best concert I've ever been to. It changed my life." Like someone that'd been on a gap year. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I've been to Bali. It was like that, but me going to see Childish Gambino, I was like, changed my life. And I was just really nervous about doing it, to be honest, because I was like, I know this song inside out. Like, I care. I love it so much. And this, everyone, I'd had so many people ask me to do Charles Gambino covers, and I said I can't because I'm scared I will fuck it up. And that was the only one I did, and I was so scared to do it because I was like, I know this too well, and I'm scared I'll fuck it up. And there are still bits that I don't like of it, like massively.
I'm surprised nobody's ever been able to get you to perform effing Problems live. I'm surprised that it's never happened at any venue, in spite of what you've said.
I did almost do it at the bar I worked at in a teepee around Christmas time. But they asked me to do a Christmas set. But
it's always holidays. So like, come on, get up here and sing this really offensive song on a holiday. Have a good time.
In that bar, I ran the music. Like, I was the music girl. That was the period of time. Rel, who was talking about it earlier, that was a period of time where I was doing all of this. Like, I could not. So I was like ADHD, like so excited for life. Do you know what I mean? I was just always animated, and they were like, "Please, can you sing over Christmas?" But I also, in this teepee, we had like an open fire pit. And for some reason, I ended up also being in charge of like setting the fire and running this fire pit. And I didn't know how to do it. And it was always smoky everywhere. And I actually got so much smoke and soot in my face over periods of weeks that I lost my voice regularly. And I had like black soot in my nose. I could not perform when it came to the Christmas thing. I just could barely talk. So unfortunately, that was the only time I was actually going to do it. I was like, yeah, go on. Fucking Problems.
And now, how drunk did they have to get you to convince you to do it? Where you almost did it?
No, it was like weeks before, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Oh wow! Okay, so you were just
you're not allowed to drink on shift, so they were basically like, "Go on, do it," and then afterwards you can have a drink. And I was like,
that was the carrot then. Yeah, come on, sing the song. We'll give you a nice drink.
Yeah,
Not top shelf, but here you go.
Well, also because there were so many regulars there at that point that they knew who I was, that they would have bought me a drink. They've been like, if you do this, we'll also buy you a drink. So basically, I would have been very drunk for free that day. So I was like, I will do it. But
how come you didn't end up doing it though? Like what stopped you?
I lost my voice because of the smoke.
Oh, okay.
So like up until that day, I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I practiced and like was so ready. I was nervous because I was like, in front of my colleagues, what if I messed up? And then it got there, and then like my boss heard my voice, like heard me talk, and I was talking like this, like a little gremlin. I couldn't speak. And she went, "Yeah, you're not singing today."
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do your hip hop opus.
Yeah,
got you famous.
Oh, I am not singing today.
Oh my goodness! Wow! So, do the people that you work for, in that part of that industry, are they very aware of your singing prowess? Have they been?
As in like hip hop, or as in like my YouTube,
like your music? Yeah, like your.
No, so they weren't before I worked with them. Before I worked with them, they weren't. I had to send over like vocal demos of stuff, but then I sent them stuff, and they're the ones that were like, "Oh, can you redo a song? Can you redo fucking Problems but with new lyrics for a new beat?" And they still try and push it, and I'm still like, I'm not doing it.
To this day, they still try to push it to this day.
All the time.
That's how
the melody.
That's how ahead of its time you were. Oh my God.
Well, the melody that you came up with that song, it's incredible. You really could form another song with that beat and melody. And
okay, right. Do you not find it a bit cringe that I did a hip hop song where I just kept going da da da, like suddenly really high? I don't know. Like now I'm like, that seems a bit weird. I don't know. It was just me trying to show off that I had range, which I don't really, but. I don't know. Now I listen and I'm like...
You're fishing for compliments, aren't you? I'll keep them coming if you want them, though.
No. I honestly, because like now I'm a writer, I'm like, that... I don't know if that sounds right.
I'll tell you my honest opinion. I don't think there's anything cringy about that tune, the video, or anything. I think it's incredible. I think it's better than most music videos you would see from that time period, let alone one that was just kind of made for a YouTube channel cover song. You know what I mean? Like usually that's just some person standing there in a booth with their little pop filter and making goofy faces. But like you actually made like a legit video. I mean,
No.
it's awesome.
No, I still had the goofy faces. I just wasn't in a room with a booth. I was just in a concrete youth club.
Oh,
Yeah, you had
but it was
editing.
legit. It was legit, and you had edge. You had edge the entire time. You were there.
Oh, yeah,
And I still want to see the director's cut with the basketball scene one of these days.
I wonder if I still have that footage somewhere.
Console Fanboy wants to know, when are you coming to California, Georgina?
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't have that much money. So probably not anytime soon.
Console Fanboy says, I'm a singer too, therapist, author, and songwriter. Just heard your music. Wow, so talented.
I mean, this is coming from a person that's a therapist, an author, and a songwriter, and a singer.
He's probably the craziest person I've ever met in my life too, man. Zohar is a character, so watch out for him.
He is. Zohar is absolutely amazing. He is super talented, and he sings too. He's got a very nice, smooth R&B kind of singing voice. So I kind of had it in my mind at some point. I'm thinking, oh my God, imagine a Zohar Georgina duet. That'd be so much fun. But you guys, you have this, that song, and how you filmed the music video. It looks so authentic and so cool. And all your videos, this is what we were getting a lot of comments on last week when Johnny and I were playing your music. A lot of people were commenting on how beautiful your videos look, the cinematography and the creative decisions you make for your videos. And I just got to say, they look really great, really professional. No, they never look like they never look like you're just phoning it in or just trying to do something goofy. They always just look so on point. Oh, I remember even when you did your cover of Hey Ya, and you're in your room and you got your name and you got you with all surrounded by all the old musicians.
That was my. It's not just old musicians. That was my friend that set up my YouTube, and he put like Jigglypuff in there. He just put random stuff in there. I didn't ask for any of that. He did it. He used to be one of the
CGI.
He wanted to be like Banksy. So he was like, he used to spray paint like different things on walls. So in the video, he was like, as like an homage to me, but for you, I'm gonna make like things for you that are related to what I do. And he just he was like, I couldn't think of any other things. So he started putting Pokemon in there. So if you look, there's like just random things that shouldn't really be in there. I mean, I love it.
And Console Fanboy says, and I'm single too, LOL. He says, I have blonde hair, blue eyes, I'm 6 feet tall with sneakers, LOL.
Do the dance, see if you can scare him off. I'm pretty sure it won't work though.
Oh Jesus!
I still remember when you guys did your cover with those guys. You did your cover of La La La. And I was just like, wow, that was a cool cover too.
That I got a lot of hate from that.
Why?
He got loads of followers after I did that. But a lot of people didn't like how I sounded on it, which is fine. Like, I'm not for everyone.
I think you sounded amazing on it. I don't know why you hate.
He made a career after that. He made a career doing cover songs and traveling the world, doing
really.
And covers, yeah.
And they didn't bring you with them to perform La La La.
No, he was actually, I didn't fall out with him, but I did a bit because I said, okay, you do this, I do this cover with you, because he was a fan of my music. And I reached out to him and said, hey, I saw you were a fan. Because he used to message me on all my videos. I was like, I saw you're a fan and you're really talented. Maybe we should work together. And he went, please, can you do a cover with me? And I went, okay, only if you repay the favor. Let's do something together. And I did that one for him and it did really well. And then he never did the cover with me. And I was like, oh, boy. But we still talk. I think he messaged me recently asking me for something. I can't remember what it was. Something media related, I think.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see if we can find it, because I got it here in your video.
Oh my my god, I can't look at that old one that I actually tried.
See if we can find it here.
This is actually like
I'm trying to go out.
You can really going through a time machine.
My name is Georgina Revell, and this is our cover of La La La.
Oh my god, that's in my friend's garden. Oh no.
Excuse the little glitchiness. I'm sorry.
It's my iPad.
Don't speak when you spit your venom, keep it shut. I hate it when you hiss and preach about your new messiah, 'cause your theories catch fire. I can't find those silver linings. I don't mean to judge, but when you read your speech, it's tiring enough. Is enough.
I'm covering my ears like a kid. When your words mean nothing, I will let that lie. I'm turning up the volume when you speak, 'cause if my heart can't stop beat, I'll find a way to block it. I'll go la 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 la
What am I
Yes, our love is running out of time.
Is everyone going that I go la la, and now I can't not hear it. They're like, it sounds like she's got phlegm.
No, it sounds legitimate. I love it. I actually think it's
I
awesome.
did it because I liked the sound. I go off sounds, not but like people didn't like it, and they were like, it sounds phlegmy, and I was like, oh, kind of does now, I guess.
I won't count the hours, rather be a coward when our words collide. I'm gonna drown you out before I lose my mind, but I can't find those silver linings. I don't mean to judge, but when you read your speech, it's tiring. Enough is enough.
I'm covering my ears like a kid. When your words mean nothing, I go la la la. I'm turning up the volume when you speak, 'cause when my heart can't stop it, I'll find a way to block it. I go la 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 la
Oh my god, the phlegm noise! You can't not hear it. You can't not hear it. Like, it's some of the top comments. It's either that or people like. There are people that are like, I think it's really interesting, and then there are people who are like, la la. Like, I can't do it.
My favorite part was ha, he broke, and then like you came in even higher than him. It was almost like he was challenging you, and you took him to it, and you actually broke higher than he did, which was pretty cool.
This, for like covers, he asked me how I did high notes, because he was like, "You're a low singer," because he studies music, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was giving him advice on doing it, because like I don't sing high. This was probably the highest thing I sang, other than like, what was it? Get Lucky. That was like the highest thing I sang, and I went, like, this is how I do it, but I find it really hard. But that, like, this, I think the other thing was people were like, this is much higher than you should have sung it. Like, you should have sung it lower, which I agree. Now listening back to it, I'm like, should have sung it lower.
Fucking so hard.
I'm turning, yeah. I'll find a way to block it. I go la 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 la.
Yeah, also that was the first request I ever had for a music video, the YouTube song, where he didn't want me to do anything but sit there. And I sent him like 3 different versions of it, like different cuts of me like sat in this garden, and he didn't want it. And I had it like really nicely coloured, and he made it all sepia, and I was like, you should have sent the video to me. I literally do media. This really stresses me out. This editing is not the one.
It's a really well done cover though. You guys nailed it. It was fantastic. I love it. That's the only version of the song I listened to.
No, not even the Sam Smith one.
Oh my goodness. Rel McMillan says this is going to be stuck in my head all day doing the Ricky Gervais dance.
As you should. This dance is so underrated. Like, it just goes with everything. Guaranteed to make people laugh.
And console fanboy Zohar says, I'm naming my child Georgina. And he also said up here, if you guys didn't see it, he said, Georgina, I PayPal'd you plane tickets to Cali. See you tonight. And he even says, I would give up my video games for her. That's huge.
Wow. Considering your name is console fanboy and your avatar is literally someone holding a game console like controller, that means a lot, and I really appreciate it. But I wouldn't ever ask you to do that.
I would love to hear the Zohar Georgina duet. I think that'd be fantastic. This guy, he can sing, and
really,
you are like, I don't know. I'm of the mind that, you know, when you get talented people together on those kinds of levels, magical things happen. And for example, the song that we just played, you know, that was super amazing. And you said that they got together and actually did something, I don't know, where they were traveling, they were touring the world doing covers. I mean, that's
no, just him.
Oh,
well, it's a weird video. Did he live far away from you? Because it's kind of like him and his homie. They're like chilling inside on the couch, but like they made you sing in the backyard. Like she can't come in though. Or the garden, I guess you guys call it. But yeah.
I've been very privileged that I live like Brighton, which is near London. It's more of like a main city. He lived much more country way, very far. Both us being young and me being like, I'm not earning money from music. I'm not paying to come see you. God bless you. Like we both just recorded separately, and I was like, sitting inside is really boring. So I sat outside. He didn't show me he sent me his recording first and said, can you record this and film something for it? So I just filmed outside because I thought it was much more aesthetic. And if you saw it in color, I think I posted a picture on my Instagram when I first did it. Beautiful coloring outside. It was sunny. It was like nice, all the greens, and like it just had like a bit of a glow.
But he wanted that grayscale though.
I could have killed him. I was just like, boy, what are you doing?
Like, because wouldn't you have just sent it to him in grayscale if that's what he wanted? I mean,
I think he couldn't. I think his lighting wasn't very good in his house. That's why you do it outside. Outside sunlight, perfect. You know what I mean? Natural sunlight, best thing.
And console fanboy says, I'm writing a song about Georgina. That's it. LOL.
Oh my God, please.
Rel McMillan says, Zohar, are you going to release some tracks for us? I want to hear a little something. He does have some funny tracks on his YouTube, Console Fanboy YouTube channel, but he's also on SoundCloud at Zohar Live. So you could check him out at Zohar Live and you'll hear what I'm talking about. He has a very R&B smooth vibe. So you definitely want to check that out. You might really get a kick out of that. I'm super excited about all of this talent, being surrounded by so much talent in one room. It's so exciting.
Oh, back at you.
God, what an amazing show this has been so far, Georgina. This has been wonderful.
You should record with them, and like you sitting on the couch, and then like have Zohar and Georgina outside, like banging on the glasses. Zod, let us in. It's hot outside today, man. And like you're just like, no, man, I'm recording my stuff in here. You guys get to record outside.
You can record outside. I don't think I'd survive. You know what? hot America would not survive. I would melt in a second.
I think you would melt, Georgina, because you're just so sweet.
I am.
You would melt. You're so sweet, Georgina. You would melt instantly. Oh my God. Console fanboy says, "Let's get married." He's got a lot of plans. He's got a lot of plans, Georgina.
I think don't you think it'd be really weird if we got married and then you named our kid Georgina? I think that would be really weird.
You could call her Junior.
No. Georgina.
No. La la la. Okay, so that would be so it's just oh my, I can't tell you just how amazing it has been just being able to catch up with you like this, Georgina. I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful you were willing to come here and give up your precious time to hang out with us today.
I do actually need to go at some point because I'm
actually wrapping up the show.
Oh no, I was gonna say I realize I'm moving soon and I have done nothing. I am such a procrastinator. Any excuse. You message me going, "Do you want to do a podcast tomorrow?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I'll find time," and I'll probably do it. So like, I'm gonna just start whenever I want to have you on again. I'm just gonna send you a message and be like, "Would you care to procrastinate this week?" That'll just be the way to ask you. Yeah, just a couple of. The last few weeks, I've been like, "Oh, I've got something on every evening," and then like tried to not have plans this week, and it's just not gone well.
Yeah, I love it. I'm just so, like I said, I'm just so grateful, Georgina. You are a wonderful person. You're so amazing and so talented. Thank you so much for coming back. I'm looking forward to you sending me more music so I can showcase it now on the revamped version of the ZodWriter show. Thank you so much. Just incredible. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. You're like, and I'm glad that you're back at it. Like, this is just very exciting. And I also now I know that it's on Spotify. I need to listen to the old shows and cringe at my old self again.
Oh yeah, well, I think the show where you and I interviewed Joe Darko together was one of the best shows I ever had. And I'm gonna say this right now. I think this show right now that we've had with you is probably one of the best shows Johnny and I have ever had together hosting this show.
No.
On YouTube, maybe.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Oh, guys.
It's just fantastic. And Rel McMillan says, "I'm happy I caught this reunion live. Georgina is really cool." Absolutely. Oh my God.
And you're probably one of the few. You know what? I think the difference is you guys don't actually know me in real life, so therefore you saying I'm cool, it doesn't hold much weight. But I really appreciate it because I don't get that very often.
Well, you are cool, and now you can go downstairs and tell your parents, "I'm cool."
Mom, people think I'm cool. Someone thinks I'm cool. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
Are you internet friends again, Georgina? Yes.
Put on your favorite track, put it up loud, and do your dance, man. Do the Ricky Gervais until you're blue in the face, man. Have a good old time.
and just like that, our good friend Zohar, aka Council Fanboy, says, "I just wrote an entire album for her."
Oh my God! If you did, send it over.
Oh yeah, she definitely wants to hear it. We know this, and I promise you that we are going to have Georgina back again sometime in the future. You guys will absolutely, and I'm hoping, and like I said, I'm gonna showcase. I'm gonna make it my goal to basically showcase more of your music again on a weekly basis.
Hold on, there's a fellow Brit in there. There's a fellow
Yes,
Brit.
of course. Here he is, our good friend Hugo Alan Stevens. I absolutely love Hugo. I'd love for you to meet Hugo, Georgina. Hugo is amazing. Hugo says, "Hi Zod and Johnny. I'll catch up on this after. Hi Georgina, I subscribe to your channel. Can't wait to check out your stuff. I try to always support my fellow Brits."
I appreciate that very much, Hugo.
Yeah, he's practically one of our co-hosts. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's on a lot.
You love Brit, don't you? You love the English.
Absolutely, we do.
Oh
yes.
yeah. I'm a, what do they call them, Britophiles? Yeah, like I watch a lot of Channel 4 shows, like right. So, or what Anglophile? That's what they call it. The American guys that are really into British stuff. Yeah.
Every time I went over to America, I used to go into bar. Also, it's really weird because in England, like, it's not a faux pas to go into a pub at any time of the day. Maybe like try and avoid going before 12 unless you're like a labourer. But after 12, game on. But like, I was over in America and I was like, I had a drink midday because I was like, it's lunchtime, I've got nothing better to do. And then people would look at me like, you're so weird. And then all the drunk old men would come over to me and be like, you're British, aren't you? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, I'm British. And they're not, they're American. I was like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah, like my ancestry is British. I'm like, aren't you all technically minus the Native Americans? What is this conversation? They were like, my lineage goes back to England. I'm like, yeah, doesn't everyone?
That is great. Wow. Oh boy. And Console Fanboy says, I'll send me over and I'll perform it live. He's talking about the album for you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Simpin' on a Tuesday by Zohar.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And everybody loves it. You know, Rel McMillan's laughing at Zohar, and Rel McMillan is sending props out to Hugo Allen Stevens, our good friend from the UK as well. So Georgina, I don't know. I have so many, you know, final thoughts, but you know what? I want to leave it to you because I'm so happy that you came here tonight.
Oh,
You're just amazing, and I again thank you. I can't say that enough. You've really made my week. I'm so excited. I feel like ZodWriter again. To be honest with you, my shows have been
show again.
my shows have been so different from what they were, and being on a stream with you just feels so perfect and feels so at home, and I'm so thankful. So thank you very much, Georgina.
Sorry, can we just talk about Hugo eating dinner at 8:20? That really stresses me out. Like, you do you, but like, what are you from Spain?
Yeah. We can add that. There you go.
He's a notoriously late eater.
Yeah. By the by, so that was. Anyway, no, I really appreciate you having me on here and like contacting me out of the blue, and the fact that you were the first person that ever interviewed me is mind blowing. And I'm also quite glad you can't find the first ever interview because it probably was a mess. Because I would have had no idea what I was doing. You probably had to literally like baby step me through everything. You were a very competent host back then. You had told me you were learning how to host and stuff when you co-host with me on the show that we did with Joe Darko, and that episode for me was amazing. I was like, that was the first, because that was like we were together the whole time. You co-hosted it brilliantly. And I was like, my God, she's probably got a future in broadcasting too, amongst all the other talents that she has. No. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, I do want to thank everybody for listening in here tonight, or today, wherever you are in the world. It is early afternoon for myself and for Johnny, and it is late now for Georgina. So what are you about to go do, Georgina? About to go wrap things up and go to bed? Well, it's 20 past 8 p.m. But I need to sort out stuff for moving because I'm finally moving to London. Going to be a London girl. So I've got to sort that out finally because I have really put that off, and I am moving into a house and have to sort out furniture and having things. Awesome. Well, good luck with that. I hope it's everything you want it to be, and best of luck to you for everything that you're going to do in the future. And I look forward to you coming back, and I look forward to promoting more of your music. So this has just been a wonderful day. Thank you again, Georgina. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone that listened.
That's what I was laughing at.
Oh, that's so incredible. All right, on that note, guys, before we embarrass Georgina, we're going to go ahead and end the show here. This has been fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next week with another episode of the ZodWriter Show, and I will see all of you tomorrow on Late Night Q&A. All right, good night, everybody.